So hello and welcome back to another video, guys. Now I thought I'd come outside and film today, you know, just a bit of different scenery, but made most of this nice weather while we got it. It's a little bit windier today, so I do apologise if that messes with the audio a bit, but we're going to try our best. So today I am ranking all of the Star Wars animated properties by Dave Filoni, not including Resistance. So that is Clone Wars Series 1 to 7 and the movie, and the 4 seasons of Rebels. Now this is a great TV series in general, Clone Wars and Rebels, because Rebels is very much so the follow-up to Clone Wars, and it's a fantastic time. There's very little bad things that I have to say about this. I think Dave Filoni does an incredible job with Star Wars. I think this is Star Wars at its core. Even though me, like most people, are biased towards the original 3 films, I think this comes pretty close, if not it rivals a lot of the original 3 films. It is easily the best Star Wars we've had in many years, and it builds upon, especially Clone Wars, it builds upon those prequel films really well, helps digest and evolve the characters from that film, and then of course I'd definitely say it's better than what Disney have been doing with Star Wars lately with the sequel movies. But yeah, so we're going to be ranking them from worst to best today. But before we get on to the actual ranking itself, just want to say my contest is ending tomorrow. Monday is the last day I'm going to accept entries, so make sure you get your entries in. Also, the reason I'm filming this today is because also today on my podcast, me and my friend Ryan are going to be talking about all of this in detail, all of Clone Wars. So if you're a big Clone Wars fan and you want to see me go into more detail on this TV series, be sure to check out my podcast, Off to the Movies. There's a link in the description. The episode coming out today will be me and him going into Clone Wars in detail. That's all 7 seasons, especially the final season, which of course has just aired. Okay, so let's get started. So my least favourite out of the 12 things we have to rank, because that is 7 Clone Wars seasons, Clone Wars movie, and then another 4 seasons of Rebels on top of that. My least favourite is the Clone Wars movie. It was kind of an obvious pick, wasn't it? Because all of the TV shows here are at least 4 or 5 hours deep worth of content. This is only an hour and a half-ish. I don't think it's too long. I can't really remember off the top of my head. I saw this in cinema, so I've been watching Clone Wars since day one. I also went and watched episode 1 of season 1 day 1, so I've been with this show since the very beginning. Yeah, the animation isn't great here, but, you know, you can really see the animation improving over time with this series, which is one of the really cool things about it. The story, the plot is a bit weak, I think. I'm not sure about Jabba's kid and whatnot. They go through extreme lengths to try and make that believable. But this film isn't bad. I'd say it's more on the average side, because it comes with its real good pros, like introducing Ahsoka. She's very childish here. And at the time I thought she might be a bit annoying, but I really like what they've done, because she starts off very childish and you see her character grow so much over the course of this show's run. It's an interesting film. I think my favourite part of it is actually the start when they're on Christophsis, but other than that, it's just okay. Next up, and this is where we go from okay to good already, is season 1 of Rebels. So this show, I think a lot of people, even me, had a bad taste in their mouth when this came out, because I was so annoyed that they cancelled Clone Wars after Series 5, and the Series 6 just went straight to Blu-ray, and it was like, oh, here's the Lost Missions. I was annoyed, but this series was actually really good. I like the fact that it was being told in chronological order, unlike Clone Wars did, which is the one downside that Clone Wars has. Really didn't like the whole non-chronological order thing. It introduced a great villain, the Grand Inquisitor, voiced by Jason Isaacs. And when this series had its connecting episodes where it was telling the story of the Grand Inquisitor chasing them, it was amazing. This series had a few filler episodes where they were still getting to grips with this whole new era of Star Wars that Dave Filoni was writing. But overall, it's good. I love the Ghost Crew. I think they're all fantastic, and you get that from the word go. Again, Ezra, he's a bit like Ahsoka, where he starts off a bit childish, but that's the great thing about him. You get to see him grow over the course of this series. So Rebels Season 1. Next up, I'm putting Clone Wars Series 2. So this was a really cool season. It had a really nice arc at the start with Cad Bane, and I really like Cad Bane. I think he's a really good villain. So let me open this up just because it's got the episodes on the inside, so I can go through the highlights. Of course, we get the first Mandalore episodes. Definitely not the best, actually. Maybe even the weakest Mandalore episodes. Very slow paced, but it's nice to get a feel with Mandalore. You get to meet Pre Vizsla, voiced by Jon Favreau. So that's cool. There's some really good Grievous episodes in this season as well. Yeah, it's overall a pretty good season. The endings are good, and they made it. I'm a bit surprised they brought Aura Singh back from the dead to do nothing. They brought her back from the dead for one episode in like series 3 or something. She had quite a nice death in this series, I felt, at the end. I really liked seeing Ahsoka go on a mission with Plo Koon, because Plo Koon, of course, is the Jedi Master who found Ahsoka. So it was nice to see those two characters connect, and I'm a sucker for Plo Koon. I think he's a really cool character. So season 2 was pretty damn good. And it's the last. Season 1 and 2 are very much those young. They're aimed at the younger audiences. So it's the last time Clone Wars was like that. Season 3, you can definitely tell the animation gets better, the stories get better. But speaking of Season 1, that is my next pick. I couldn't help but put it over Series 2 slightly because this is the first season, and I remember being so excited for this as a kid. I remember being there every day, watching every episode. I was there for the whole of Clone Wars, to be fair, watching every episode. But this one was extra exciting because it was the first season. And it had been so long since we'd had Star Wars, new Star Wars content, that it was just so exciting. So Season 1 was really cool. I really remember that first episode. And loving the hell out of it as a kid. Of course, looking back at it now, it's not the best episode, but it's I guess sentimental reasons. I love going back to that one. I really like the next one, the triple parter with Grievous's big ship, the Maleficent, if I can say it, with the ion cannon. I thought that was really cool. Really nice seeing Grievous, because I was annoyed he weren't in the film much. I mean, he was only in the intro, I think. So being such a big Grievous fan, I was like, yeah. What else we got in this one? The Stars of Ventress, you know, she does a lot in this season, which is really cool. There's a nice episode with a double part with Ayla Secura. The finale is really cool. You get a Mace Windu episode at the end, and he goes after my favourite Separatist leader, Wat Tambor. So it was nice seeing characters like Wat Tambor get a little bit of screen time. Of course, in the film, he had one line. And the finale with Cad Bane was really cool. I really liked the finale. So Season 1. Next up, I don't have a Blu-ray for this. It is Series 7 of the Clone Wars, the final season. Now, I know this seems really low because the finale was just amazing. So let me explain why it's this low. It is only 12 episodes. It has, you know, a massive disadvantage because these seasons are all quite long. They're all 16 plus episodes. So Series 7 of the Clone Wars is the shortest, and as we all know, the last 4 episodes are the best of anything I'm going to have to talk about today. The last 4 episodes of Series 7 are the best stories in all these animated shows, without a doubt in my mind. It is pure 10 out of 10 magic. But the first 8 episodes are just okay. And unfortunately, it's not enough to bump it up on this list. So while I absolutely love Series 7 for that finale, the finale is honestly incredible and I can't rave about it enough. The first 8 episodes are just on the average good side, I think. So Series 7 of Clone Wars is next. Next up, I'm putting Series 3 of Rebels. Series 3 of Rebels was really cool for me. I like seeing the... I forget his name. Is it the Bandu? Bandu, I think. Voiced by Tom Baker. I thought that was he was a really cool addition. I really liked him in the last episodes. Of course, this season is very well known for 2 things. One being the reintroduction of Grand Admiral Thrawn. I think they reintroduced him for a novel first, and then Dave Filoni said that he was going to include him in the 3rd season of Rebels. But of course, he's from the expanded Star Wars universe, and I used to love Thrawn, and I was really upset when Disney said he wasn't canon anymore. So I really love that they brought him back here. It's a little bit more stern than I wanted him to be, but they done a good job with him. And then of course we see the end of Darth Maul in this season. Now, when this season was being made, I don't think they obviously weren't aware that they were going to do a final season of Clone Wars where he'd become super popular again. And I don't think they obviously weren't aware that he was going to be in Solo either. I think that was Ron Howard last minute chucking in a character. So I think the way Dave Filoni was probably thinking in this season was Maul's always going to be an animated character. He can't go past the Empire times, really. So we've got to kill him in Rebels. So I don't blame them for killing him here. It was a bit quick. I think Maul should have maybe been like the Season 4 final villain, because he's such a big Star Wars character. The way he went out in an episode wasn't even the finale. Not the way I would have gone about it. However, his final scenes, or his final episode, was great. Him going against Obi-Wan Kenobi was fantastic. I love the way that they done his death. He tried to use the same move he used on Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan countered it. But this season is really good. It's really fun. It's got a few filler episodes around the middle, but it's a really good time. Next up is Season 2 of Rebels. Season 2 and 3 of Rebels are really on the same line for me in terms of quality. But I put this one over Season 3 just because of the finale. The last 2 episodes are incredible. My favourite finale after, of course, Series 7 of the Clone Wars. It's a great time. I like the fact that they bring in some characters from the films in this one. Yoda, of course, is in this, voiced by Frank Oz. The Yoda animation looks... It's weird. It looks more film accurate, but I think because we're so used to the way Yoda looks in the Clone Wars, it looks really strange. Maul, of course, is reintroduced in this one, which I thought was great. And, of course, we get to see Vader. And, hey, whenever Vader's on screen, it is just a blessing. And he's great. He looks a little bit odd, but he steals every scene he's in, and it's great to see him finally go toe-to-toe with Ahsoka. Okay, next up, right as the wind picks up, so I'm sure the mic's picking up the wind a bit here. Season 4 of Rebels, that's right. As you can tell, Rebels for me was really, really consistent in its quality, hence why they're all together in this ranking. Season 4 is a bit shorter. Why have I put this one here? Because this whole season I don't think it has a filler episode in it. It wraps up this story so well. I love the fact that this season had balls to, like, kill off Kanan, make Hera have a kid with Kanan. I don't think the first season of Rebels would have done that. I really love the cliffhanger ending with Ezra and Thrawn. I can't wait to see where they go with that. I love seeing Sabine doing all her Mandalore stuff. It ties into the films perfectly. I love the ending. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I really like it. And I love how it ties into the Clone Wars as well. So this is, I think, the best season of Rebels. Even though it's shorter, they obviously knew that was going to be their final season, and they didn't hold back. They put everything into it, and it was incredible. Okay, next up. This is coming in 4th place. Season 5 of the Clone Wars. Season 5 of the Clone Wars is a really strange one because it has a couple incredible story arcs, then it has a couple somewhat forgettable ones, and then it has a bad one. I think the droid story arc is probably the bad one. It's good when you get that one episode where we get to see the Clone Commander. That was a good episode, but other than that, I don't know, I wasn't into the droid story arc. The Youngling one is a bit forgettable, but I like seeing Ilum, the planet where they build their lightsabers, which ties in heavily to the game Fallen Order. I like seeing them build their lightsabers, where of course you have that droid voiced by David Tennant. I thought that was good fun. And then the opening episodes with the introduction of the character Sol Guerrero. This is seen before Rogue One. So this is where Sol Guerrero was created. In fact, I think there's a picture of him on one of the discs. Yes. It was good. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. However, the Mandalore / Maul story arc was incredible. Seeing Palpatine fight Maul and Savage Opress was incredible. And I absolutely loved the final story arc with Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order. I thought that was great. Series 5 is a season which really has its ups and downs, but when it has its ups, it's super high. Next up for me is Series 3. Now, this has always been my favourite season until I rewatched them about a year ago. This is where the Clone Wars went from being good to great, in my opinion. You can really feel that the show upped its ante with Season 3. It's weird, about halfway through Season 3, the animation style went up. You could tell because they changed the characters' costumes as well to symbolise that, I guess. And you can tell the stories get so much better. The back half of this season is incredible. First up, you have I forget the name of where it is they go to, but Anakin, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka go to this other realm where there is the father, daughter and the son, who are like the ultimate force wielders and stuff. There's loads of stuff on Wikipedia about them if you want to read into them. It's really great. They also mention them in the final season of Rebels. That was a really cool story arc. I loved it. I loved them symbolising about Anakin, what his future has in store for him. Then you have the episode where they go into the Citadel, which I thought was incredible. That's top 5 story arcs for me, with Master Peel and stuff, and Tarkin also appears in that one. You have Chewie coming into this series at the end, and then of course you have the finale, which is just great with Savage Opress and stuff, and right at the end it teases the return of Maul. The first half of the season is also really good. I love the attack on Kamino, I thought that was good, but the first half of the season still has a few filler episodes, but it's still a really good season. Okay, top 2. Next up is Series 6. This is, of course, The Lost Missions. This never aired properly, not in the UK at least. It didn't even get a Blu-ray release here. I just think they kind of, when Disney took over, they were very arrogant with Star Wars. You know, we all know this from the films, how they just went straight into production on The Force Awakens and didn't plan a trilogy. I think they were the same here with The Lost Missions, or Series 6. They just got rid of it. They're like, this is unnecessary, we don't need it. It might have aired in America, I'm not 100% sure. But I can't believe that someone at Disney just looked at this and went, we don't need to air this, forget it, we're going to just do our own thing. Because this is incredible Star Wars, this is fantastic. It explains so many things in Revenge of the Sith, like, why did the clones just turn like that? Were they just always prepared to do it? But no, this answers it. They had a chip in their head, which I thought was really good. How is it that Yoda is able to come back as a Force ghost with Obi-Wan? It goes into it in more detail. I mean, it's already been explained in comics and stuff and Legends. It goes into it in more detail. It's fantastic. This series just takes so many open doors and closes them. It answers so many great questions, and it's all just so entertaining. There are moments where you see Count Dooku, and the Jedi become aware that Count Dooku made the clones, and it's like, oh my god, how did you not figure out all the 66? It's so well written, and I absolutely love this season. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But number 1 is going to be Series 4 for me. Now, this is a season which I look back on with such fond memories. I remember when it aired, every single episode, and considering this is like a 22... Yeah, it's 22 episodes this season. It's a full-length, proper season. And this one has so many incredible story arcs. I've got a nice little poster with this one, which my aunt gave me. But even from the opening episodes, which I know some people aren't a big fan of, but I quite like it. It's the underwater episodes on Mon Calamar. You've got Kit Fisto there. You see a young Admiral Akbar. There's a really great episode with Grievous where he attacks the Gungans. And then there's a 3-parter with Jedi Master Krill, something like that. It's been a while since I watched these people. But Rex has been put under his wing, and this Jedi is not all he seems to be. It's an incredible story arc. The finale is insanely good with Darth Maul and Savage Opress. Darth Maul comes back properly in this season. It's absolutely amazing. There's a couple nice pirate episodes in here. I also really enjoy the Bounty Hunter arc, which is what this poster's from that I've got here. Really nice. It's one where Obi-Wan goes undercover. Let me open this up so you guys can see it. It goes undercover to figure out what Cad Bane and this Rala Evol, something like that, is up to. And it's just a fantastic story. I really do love Series 4. I think it's got so much great content in it. But yeah, there is my Star Wars animated ranking. If you want to see me go into more detail on just the Clone Wars, as I say, today my podcast is going to be up, Off to the Movies with Ryan Chesham. So make sure you go check that out. Also, there's links in the description to loads of other things. There's not going to be a live chat this Tuesday on my YouTube channel. But I am going to do a small one on my Instagram account, Off to the Movies. I've got 2 Instagram accounts. My actual one, James Lack, which I'd be still very grateful if you'd check out. I still do movie posting on there and whatnot. But I've got my Off to the Movies one, which is specifically for me talking about Blu-rays and doing live streams, because you can do the interaction thing on there where people can actually come talk to me one-on-one, and we're going to be able to do that on Tuesday, hopefully. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it as always. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a message. Check out all those links in the description. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye-bye.